online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome After Buzzers to a new Saturday Night Live after show.
Yes.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV or find us on not Instagram. You can find me on Instagram on iTunes or SoundCloud. Don't forget to leave us a comment about your thoughts and opinions and tweet us with the hashtag ABTVSNL. After all, we all love talking to you and finding out what you guys thought of the show, too. Now, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo. And here are my new awesome co-hosts.
We thought that you did so well on that new intro.
We're really
There's nothing like just before going on air being like, hey, do this giant paragraph.
No, they sent an email, too, though, so I should have...
Oh, okay.
Then there's no excuse for you, Kelly.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to do it like SNL? And we could have like had it on big cards.
Read it, like Pete Davidson, but read it like that.
Put on for it.
Hey everyone, I'm Kimberly Crossman. I'm an actress and a host and an author from New Zealand. I did the show with Danny last week, who is not here. He's actually currently hosting the Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah,
so he's
Pro Bowl today and then Super Bowl, I think, next week.
Sure. We'll just no. But he's having a lot of fun and he misses us and he has serious FOMO.
Yeah, so sorry.
Of course he does.
Yeah,
We're super hot girls with microphones. Right? Anyway, yeah, I'm Kimberly Crossman. You can find me, just some cheering randomly, at Kim Crossman on social media.
I am Katie Wilbert. I, too, am an actress and comedian. I do a lot of comedy at Second City and Groundlings. I direct and am in a lot of sketches and improv and do some stand-up.
Me too.
Yeah, we did it once and we filmed it and put it on YouTube. You can watch that too. It's kind of hilarious. Do you do it like often?
Like Flappers a lot.
Oh, okay. Flappers is great.
Yeah,
I saw Maria Bamford there, and that was a dream.
Oh my God.
She's the cutest, most funny human.
Yeah, she's got so much talent, and she seems so I don't know, she seems so cool, but like normal. I don't know, yeah.
That's cool.
Just a dream.
We also have really big news. Katie and I introduced a new member to our family yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
It is a pet tarantula.
What?
Its name is...
We're not sure yet, but something like Prince Harry.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Yeah.
We decided
it's a boy. Okay. Apparently, in order to find out if a tarantula is a male or female, you have to, like, wet it down and, like, watch it molt. And I was like, I do not have time for this. I can't be bothered.
No.
So you're a boy and your name is, like, Prince Harry and you just deal with it.
So we just picked about. So that's a little bit about us.
Congratulations on your new family edition. Yeah,
we'll do Christmas photos and everything.
That'd be great. Put a little Santa hat.
Yeah,
it'd be really cute. So anyway. Roya and Keaton. Just an update, guys. They had to bow out for the rest of the season. It's pretty sad, but these girls, as you found out now, are pretty awesome. Pretty awesome replacements, right?
We think we're awesome.
We mirrored hand gestures always.
We hope that you will too.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well. Yeah. Awesome. So let's dive into the episode. Yeah, what did you guys think when you heard Blake Shelton was going to be a host and musical guest?
Well, to be honest, like being from New Zealand, country music isn't huge over there, but coming to the U.S., I've fallen in love with country music. More importantly, I feel like Blake Shelton, and he's just beautiful and lovely. So I think I was really excited to see what he did on the show. So, yeah, I was pretty excited. Actually, I thought it was an interesting choice for a guest, and yeah.
I didn't really have an opinion. Okay. Because I don't really I don't really like country music, and I don't watch The Voice or anything, so I was like, this could either go really bad. I'm sorry. But hey, I like liked it.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. It was a really fun episode, especially like the monologue, but we'll get into that in a second.
Well, I definitely think too, if someone's going to host and do a musical performance, it's a lot to take on. So I think anytime I'm definitely curious to see how it's going to go, because that's just so much energy to expel in a period of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was definitely curious for that reason. But I also thought, you know, he's been hosting The Voice, so he's definitely got a personality. It's not like he's just a musical performer. So kind of thought going into it like it's gonna be strong.
And I think Adam Levine, he hosted, I think he did both, and musical guested with Maroon 5. Was it the same thing? I don't know. I don't know if it's the same episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
His monologue, he was shirtless, so that was a much more
That's not a bad thing ever. Is it?
episode.
If
Yeah.
it's Adam Levine.
Yeah. But so the cold opening inside the NFL, the Patriots thing. I was pretty excited about this because all this week there was a bunch of ball jokes
Of
with
course.
the Patriots.
Yes.
And being from New Jersey, I hate the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
So I was
There
like,
you go.
Tom Brady likes deflated balls.
That's great. Well, I hadn't actually seen the original thing before. I'd heard little bits about it, but we went back and watched what they were mocking, and I even thought there was more room in that cold open to do more. Like
That's
When you actually watch the actual
he literally,
Tom
he literally
Brady
says the line, "I don't want anyone rubbing the balls, or I don't want anyone touching the balls." I was like,
yeah, the
why didn't
actual-
they quote that?
He was like, you know, the balls that I pick out, those balls are perfect for me. The balls are perfect for me. He kept repeating it in the real thing, and I was like, wow.
like, in the
Why
sketch,
didn't they-
could
yeah,
have
There
gone
was
further.
so much
They
mileage.
used football more than balls in the
know.
opening monologue, and I was like, why?
They
Why are
could
you
have
doing
just
that?
gone for it.
Yeah,
I know.
I have like a 13-year-old boy sense of humor.
Yeah.
I want some ball jokes.
Right? They kind of went there, but they could have gone balls deep in, you know?
They're
for it. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks.
good job.
I liked the line, someone that good looking and rich can't be trusted. I just
Yeah.
thought that was
That
a
was
good
really
line.
funny.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too. You've seen American Psycho. That's what they said after.
Yeah. I thought that was
Yes.
a great one. I like the cold open too. I thought it was a great. Yeah, I like this. I rated it. I gave it a B.
See, I didn't give. What did I give? I gave it a C- because I felt
Okay.
like it could have been funnier. Because there was more room for some. And I didn't like Taron's joke, like of him being, I don't know, playing really dumb.
Okay.
I didn't see that in the real one so much. I don't
Well, that's
really-
actually why we went back and watched it, right? Because I didn't know if that was the angle that they were taking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was expecting him to be, like, real, just...
stupid about the kind.
Yeah, and I felt like Tom Brady was actually, he was like smiling the whole time. I don't know. I felt like in the actual press conference, he's like a lot more cheeky and just saying weird stuff. And it was just like,
What was the one line that he says, like, is Tom Brady a cheater? And he's like,
oh my gosh, he
What was the line?
said, he said, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not a cheater. I don't believe Tom Brady is a cheater. Like, dude, they're talking about you. You can defend yourself and be like, I am not a cheater. I don't think I am.
Weird.
I don't know.
what did you rate it?
A B.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny and I enjoyed it, especially once we'd watched the press conference. I was like, cool, I'm tuned in. But yeah, I felt like there was so much more they could have picked from in
Played
the
with.
barrel there. Yeah.
Yeah. But then the monologue kind of redeemed that cold opening, I feel. I really liked it. It was so different from the norm, but also kind of incorporated, the
Country
countryness.
aspect, yeah.
What did you guys think of it?
I have a couple in it. I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
I was not sure. I was kind of waiting to see what was happening with it. I was expecting a musical monologue.
Me too, yeah.
I think, and I guess when someone that is a musician is on, I'm like, cool, yeah, that seems appropriate for you to do a musical monologue. So I was into it, especially like anytime there's a banjo, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I think Leslie, though, being like, I don't like this, like, it genuinely believed her. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if I like it either. And then once it got to the last couple blows, I was like, okay, it was funny. But I just felt kind of okay about it. Yeah.
I thought it was hit and miss. I think incest is quite funny, so I thought those jokes were quite funny. I liked his line about him calling himself out as a Justin Bieber of country music.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
And I also liked his note about it not being a roast. And it just made me think, and this is totally secondhand, but I did hear that Justin agreed to do a roast. Yes. And I think that's so cool. So
I have to see that.
It'll be so good. Apparently, he wanted to do it like a year ago, and they're like, no, there's not enough material.
We need, and then he went crazier.
And then he's like, well, that's why I've been so crazy, so I could do a roast. So I thought that was pretty cool. Totally a tangent. But I thought the Blake Shelton thing was good. I guess this is a note, and I don't know whether to say it now or later, but looks like I've just opened the gates. Now's the time.
Yeah.
It kind of set the tone for the whole show about this weird thing, like this underlying kind of racism thing and the underlying gay jokes that seemed like apparent in every sketch. And did you notice that at all?
Now that you mention it, the next
most sketches,
there was a lot of it. And I think that's why too, starting with Leslie saying, I don't like it. It just, it ended up being this weird theme throughout the entire episode of like lots of racist.
And I don't know if it was because it was, country music, like it's a completely different tone for the show, and definitely I felt even the rhythm of the show was very contrasting to last week, which was Kevin Hart, and was like bam, 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 and this week it kind of like felt a bit more mellow. But there was definitely felt like an intentional hit the race joke and hit the gay joke and everything, and I don't know if that was because of a different audience that the country music might bring and kind of playing on those stereotypes and hitting them in the face, or if it was just
they just
a coincidence.
Happened to pick all these sketches, and afterwards we're like, "Oops, wow, our show was."
Do you feel that, or only now that
now
we
that
flagged
you mentioned it, I noticed it. I didn't think about because I watched it in parts the episode, so that's I guess I didn't see it all
consecutively through.
But I don't know why, because I feel like gay jokes aren't that popular with country people. I don't really know.
But I guess that's kind of what
we were really curious about that. Yeah, because I'm like, the audience that they would be bringing in from like Shelton would be a lot more
conservative. Right?
Yeah,
but I mean, I feel like they do probably race jokes. So that's I don't really know.
We just flagged it like interesting. That's something that kept happening. That we're like,
there's
this particular episode.
Yeah, there's an entire sketch like, but I'm not gay. Like, it's okay, bro. I don't know.
It was weird.
Anyway, I gave his opening monologue a C+ because I don't know. I thought it had good parts, and then other parts I wasn't too sure if I got it.
I liked it because it wasn't. I was expecting a singing thing, but it wasn't singing. It was like jokey singing.
Yeah.
And I just really liked Leslie in a blonde wig.
Yes.
And just being like her. Yeah. She always plays herself.
Yeah.
She does. At least now she doesn't have short hair. Like, she had a crazy blonde wig just saying, I don't like this. I did like the roast thing, and when Pete was like, that's what I said to your wife or something about her cooking.
Yes.
Just bringing that up, and I liked how they played dumb about it. I gave it a B+ because I enjoyed it, because it was something I wasn't expecting in a good way. Unlike like that Jim Carrey episode when it was just a weird song. That didn't have to do with anything.
That's true. That was weird.
Those were consecutively, the episodes were just musical monologues that had nothing to do with anything, and the host couldn't even sing, and you're just like, what was the point of it? You could have done anything for the opening monologue, and you did that.
You could tell the host was probably just like, I want to try singing.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Can we do a singing monologue? I love it when the kids do that.
Yeah. But,
what did you give it?
A C-.
She's so tough.
I was even surprised by it when I read it, but then after talking about it, I'm like, I don't know, the banjo bumps it up for me. If there's a banjo in any scene, I'm like, she's going to like it.
After hearing Kelly, I'm like, maybe she's right. Maybe I did like it more than I didn't. I don't know.
I feel like that's how I feel too, though, when people give it better ratings.
You're like, oh yeah, those were nice
too
parts.
Mean? But so Farm Hunk, which is like Farmer Bachelorette, I'm guessing, or Bachelor.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch The Bachelor?
I don't. My sister is an avid watcher. And is always trying to talk to me about it, and it falls on deaf ears.
I heard it's like 3 hours long sometimes, like the shows, or when it premiered, it was like a 3 hour long thing. I don't know how people are that dedicated to a reality show. So I liked how this was shorter version of The Bachelor. Really short, like 3 minutes.
Well, I think if none of us are currently Bachelor watches, I know that Danny had told us that it was kind of relevant to an episode that just aired where apparently the Bachelor didn't keep any of the black girl or like eliminated two. So he said that to us and we didn't know that. So that probably maybe if you were a fan that joke could have hit more.
Yeah, he does the AfterBuzz show for Bachelor, I think. Yeah.
The show brought to you by Danny Hoyt. What else does he do? We could just keep plugging him.
I think it helps to have that context, though, because then we were like, that makes sense why that was brought up. And then it made me wonder about why all of them were then porn stars. But then I loved the joke. I loved that they kept expanding it in a different way.
But then there was that one crazy girl, 80, who played by 80, who just like everything terrible happened to her emotional life. Yeah.
But then I have to wonder, like, surely there's been characters like that on The Bachelor that they're just hardening, or I don't know. So
I had assumed that it was just playing off the format of like playing the Hollywood girls are all like, everyone's trying to pimp themselves out, and then I thought the overly emotional person is because you need those people in that show who are like, well, this mug reminds me of childhood, and
like,
for those moments,
so much baggage,
better drama,
and the random bird, just because I know the show goes to extremes with stuff. So
I brought you some spaghetti. What?
So I really enjoyed it because I was taking it from a format perspective, not specifically for maybe current things that have happened in it. So I was happy and content watching it. I thought it was funny.
What did you guys rate it?
I rated it a B. I loved the wackadoo aspect to it of just like the rapid pace, and some of the lines were like, I don't like Mexicans or Chinas, and I just like, there were some one-liners in there, or I think Kate McKinnon had the line of, I'm a veteran of the porn industry, I served my country 200 times.
Yeah.
Like there's so many good one-liners in there that initially, I don't know, I think I wrote down B because I was like, I don't watch The Bachelor, like I don't know for sure what is happening, but then like I really enjoyed it after I thought about it, and 80 bursting into tears, and I don't know, I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
I got kind of I wish I watched The Bachelor to understand it more, but I liked how it just went nuts, like off the deep end at the end, just like they just kept rotating really fast. But I gave it a B-C just because I wasn't really sure about it.
Just because you can, Kelly.
I gave it a B, and my note to make it better, I thought there maybe could have been a stronger tag. Like I would have liked to have seen him maybe pick one of the girls and give a ridiculous reason why. Like the tag of being like, hey, if you're in New York, hit me up.
You can Google me.
I kind of.
And Leslie playing herself again. I love Leslie. But she's good as a stand-up comedian and everything, and good on Update. But I'm seeing a lot in sketches that she's the weaker one because she's either playing herself or. Did you see the Chris Rock one? Where it was she was fighting with him. They were like a married couple. It was an awful sketch. And so she tries, but she's just not a strong.
Wait, was that the one where they were literally in the wedding?
No, it was like a couple, and she was just at their house yelling about something. I forget. It was really not a good sketch. But so she needs to. I wish she would get better. She just
that is my wish for you. But you could do better. That would be good.
But she's so good at herself. Because Pete is really good as a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
And he's really good at Update.
Yeah.
But he could play other people. You could see that, you know?
Yeah.
So just don't be like Brooks Wheelan from last season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I think that's the thing, too, with SNL is it's so heavily character-based, too, that if you can't, it is kind of a problem because that's the format. Unless you just exist so well as yourself that people don't
care.
Give a crap.
but then it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be the tag of every scene, though. Just like, let's bring Leslie in to say something Leslie does.
Leslie.
She's so Leslie. We could put a wig on her. That's a completely different thing.
Here's a blonde version of Leslie.
I don't like this.
Ballerina version of Leslie.
So the next one, we good with the next? The next one was
The
maybe my favorite thing.
So good. My dad sent me a a text with just a boot saying,
Perfect.
"Here's my wishing boot," and I didn't see it yet. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
And he's like, just watch SNL.
You'll know.
And it was so funny.
Oh,
like
man.
such a great like satire of all country music.
Every country song in the world.
My highlights
good.
were, I said a great filter because the lens of the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The coloring
Thank
of the
you.
actual short.
words would help. I love the candles. I love the white sheet kind of tattered around.
The building that they were.
Just all these random lit candles. And yeah, just...
Kate's outfit, I loved her.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, the clothing was so good. Even her
Perfect.
jewelry.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
could see her dancing in the background too when it was Blake's turn. Like
So good.
it was so funny.
I loved everything about this. And before I had watched the show, like you, the two things that I knew and was expecting was something about Wishing Boot and something about chicken nuggets. That seemed to be what was trending or hashtagging the most from the show. So,
I like the specifics in it. Like, she pulls a giant piece of cheese pizza out of the boot. Oh, the dog, like the evil
dog
boot.
turning.
Oh, the
part,
evil boot.
and then the dog
So
turning
weird.
into the boot. It
It's
was
a real
so
wishing
weird, but I loved it. Yeah, like it was a fake wishing boot, and then it was a real wishing boot. Like it was just so good.
Yeah,
I was giggling the whole time.
I ended up Googling country music songs that don't make any sense.
Oh yeah.
And there's
did
some
you
that are called Drop Kick Me Jesus. Drop Kick Me Jesus Through the Goalposts of Life by Bobby Bear.
Wait, that's an entire title.
Yeah, through the
Wow.
by Bobby Bear is the guy.
Bobby Bear's
and then,
got it going on.
Yeah, Honky Tonk Badonka Donk.
Yes,
heard that one.
That's actually a really good song.
Honky tonk,
But donkey dong. We'll play it to you later. Don't say anything bad about it.
Covers.
But
brought to
see,
you by
it's
Katie
like
and Kimberly.
they're hits and they just make no sense. That's why I
Yeah.
liked at the end how Kate was like, "We're gonna make so much money out of this."
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
So true.
There's some that my parents used to send me because they knew that I was so annoyed with these particular country songs. Like one was called "Put a Girl in It," and it was just like, if you're in a truck, put a girl in it.
Like
if
she's
you're at
an
a
object.
party, put a girl. Yeah,
That's great.
it's just like some songs are like "Drunk on a Plane." There's just too many.
I think that it was a great thing, though. So, because if you were watching SNL and you love SNL, but maybe you're not on board with country music, it was a great way to like put it out there as like we know it's ridiculous. Some of this too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel free to mock it as we are, and I think that was a
Yeah.
really clever way of doing that. Because looking on Twitter, there seemed to be a lot of people being like, "Who is Blake Shelton? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?" So.
Yeah.
And I liked that they did that too because it shows that Blake's like okay with making fun of
Totally.
it, you know,
Totally.
because that's him and his wife are country music
Oh, yeah.
stars, and
They're like the power
Country
couple.
moguls.
yeah. But I felt like that was kind of the theme of this episode, where it's like random, not really making much sense sketches, but still enjoyable for the
Yes.
most part.
Yeah.
But
What did you rate the song?
this one I gave B+. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
I'm really tough giving A's.
You are.
yeah.
You keep them in. I'm like A++. Yay! Well done,
went for it.
everyone.
I gave it an A. I loved
Yeah.
it.
I think it was my favorite though, so I'll give it that. So I'll give it
Yeah.
maybe a B+.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to
It's
change your
growing on
judging
her.
just because of us.
It was good though.
Peer pressure.
yeah.
Unlike the next sketch, though,
Yes.
Celebrity
Oh, yeah.
Family Feud. Usually these things are so... I love celebrity things, like the Celebrity Jeopardy and everything, and even the game night one they did. I kind of...
Yeah.
Because it shows off their talent of impersonating
Yes.
people.
Yeah, but
This one, they just all phoned it in, I feel like.
it was
right?
well. That was my note. Was like it would have been a great sketch if people were impersonating people.
Yeah.
and I thought too, if you have Blake Shelton, why is he himself? Like make him that. That's usually the fun part too, is seeing the host also try to impersonate someone as good
Yeah.
as
Like-
the cast do. And I felt like there was not one particular person. Like I thought Kate McKinnon looked like Keith Urban, and that was the closest they got to like good impressions.
I liked Taryn's Adam a little bit.
Oh, his
was pretty
voice
good.
was good.
Yeah. But
That's true.
I thought it would have been funny if Blake played Adam. Usually they kind of do that, like switch
Yeah.
up.
Because that's what didn't Justin Timberlake do that with
Something
Jimmy
like that.
Fallon or something?
yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
on SNL?
Yeah.
yeah, and that
Recently,
was great.
but-
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
like I'd seen that. I was like, wonder if that what was that on.
Yeah. And like Kyle Mooney, Steven Tyler, was that supposed to be really bad? Or was it like, was it supposed to be funny bad, or it just was uncomfortable?
I agree with you.
It was
minus the dream catcher thing, because I did enjoy the dream catcher.
He looks like a dream catcher.
Steve Harvey. That was funny.
So I thought that for me was my favorite part of this one, that Australia got a shout out, and it's Australia Day today. Not that I'm from Australia, I'm from New Zealand, but it's kind of the same thing. And they saying that, from the middle of nowhere, drinking beer and getting in fights. And
like Australia?
Yeah, I thought that was quite funny. Personal note. I like the Dreamcatcher thing mainly because I was listening to Comedy Central Radio and listening to someone stand up about Dreamcatchers, and it just has made me die of laughter all week. And basically the gag is, where do you guys see a dream catcher? And it's usually with people with like no hope, or their lives are so average, or like they're living in their car and they have a dream catcher. And his whole bit is about how dream catchers must take your dreams and never give them to you, just hold on to them, because everyone who has a dream catcher is just not doing well in life. And so when they said the line, he looks like a dream catcher come to life, I was like, that's so funny.
It's fitting. Yeah.
I think Keenan as Steve Harvey saved it for what it was, because of his joke. Like, those were all him saying it. Everything else was just like, and Cecily as Christina. Doesn't Kate usually play Christina, or somebody else does? Or maybe I'm getting it wrong.
I'm not sure. I didn't get the joke about her speaking.
I mean, I get the joke about her being like, I'm so Latina, and the like, you're as Mexican as Taco Bell is Mexican, or whatever.
That was funny.
But, I just felt like the impressions fell short.
I didn't get the tag for this because I felt like maybe I'm living under a rock if there was some gay thing with Adam Levine and Blake Sheldon. I don't.
It was really, I guess it was just because they always bicker at each other, I'm guessing, from the voice.
Okay.
Because I remember in the promos for SNL, like, he hosted, so I could host too. I think.
So there's
there's like a
sexual tension.
I don't
Probably
see that,
not, actually.
though. Yeah, I thought that was
maybe
weird.
That's what they turned it into.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a funny little feud I think they have.
Okay.
But I thought that was unnecessary, how they're just like slowly.
It was a weird ending.
It was funny. Like, basically, if you haven't seen it yet, or you're just here watching. Spoiler alert. Yeah, they basically just face each other and then slowly go down. I mean, it's funny to watch visually, but
just kiss. I would have rather had them kiss.
Yes,
it would have been a more active choice.
Yeah,
for sure.
Great idea.
Yeah, because they do that all the time on SNL, But I guess maybe Blake was not,
not into
too.
Can only go so far, I guess.
Could have done this kind of kiss,
this
kind of, like.
What's the other one that you do this and you like suck your own thumb or something?
Really?
I don't know. I never did that. Is that like
Is the person's head?
I feel like we have to do it now. We're not kissing. But that's what we used to do in school. Like, if you'd
really?
Your own thumb? That's so funny.
It looks like you're kissing on TV. Okay. Why did you pull away? My feelings are hurt.
She pulled a Blake Shelton.
It said more about me than it said about you.
That's true.
It's my own insecurities and fear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So what did you guys rate that one?
A D.
Me too.
You know what? I don't know why. I'm going to change my judgment.
A B.
But I don't feel that way about it. I think I was like too nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm just such a good human.
So let's just talk about both of his performances in one thing.
Yeah, feels appropriate.
It's a great idea.
What'd you guys think?
I thought they sounded great, and I think the setup was sort of minimalist, but they were good performances. I think seeing Sia last week was interesting because
it was a performance piece.
It was so kind of magical, and you were really involved in it, and I really wanted to watch it. I felt like these performances,
you could listen
while they
to
sounded great, that was the time I was like, okay, cool, potty break, like snack break, was kind of just good.
Yeah,
good.
I wrote that you couldn't fault his performance. I think it just is a different tone and. Yeah, I mean, the band looked like they were enjoying it.
He seemed pretty into it, too. You could tell he had some, liveliness to him.
Yeah.
But, it was good.
The banjo was sounding. Again, that banjo, I could hear it the whole time. I was like, it's
You just
sweet.
love that,
I love that banjo.
Yeah.
The background dancer was really getting into it, which I loved. At one point, I noticed the keyboardist, and he was playing like this. And it made me really happy. Like, everyone on stage was really enjoying themselves. Yeah. And I think sometimes when you hone in on that, you're like, you get more into it. Kind of rubs off on you. When you see everyone else's happiness on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what I would have liked to have seen differently. I think that was just the nature of it. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. So
yeah, I don't know. Did you guys rate it?
I didn't rate it. I just put sounded good.
Yeah, me neither.
Super awesomeness.
I feel like it's hard to rate the performances because if it's not something you're like super into, but support that they were good at it.
Yeah.
You can't really like rate that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well done.
And weekend update. It was pretty fun.
It was fun.
I liked the one of the first jokes that Obama's comeback literally burned John Boehner.
Yes, that was a good one.
That was so good. And do you have any jokes before we get into the characters that you liked?
And there were some jokes that I had question marks after for sure. But like, I liked that they went back to Obama actually has fully inflated balls.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Hillary 2016 joke about Joe Biden having there was like gunfire by his house, and that you see that it was Hillary. Just because Hillary Clinton makes me laugh. Like, I think, you know what, tough lady, and I'm all for it, but just something about it makes me giggle always. So where there's a Hillary joke, I will laugh. And then the question mark that I had was regarding the King Abdul from Saudi Arabia, who was killed by a terrible woman driver. And then there was just this like look on Michael Che's face, followed by like just moving on to the next thing. Like, there should have been a punchline, some sort of error or something.
That's probably the punchline, that women are bad drivers, I guess.
I think, but it even looked like he was uncomfortable by the joke. I don't know. We rewound it to be like,
was that a mistake?
Yeah. Or are they going to continue on it? And
I don't even remember that one.
It was just
blocked it out because it was boring.
Let's be real, though. Calling Johnny Depp a French scoff monster is pretty funny.
That was my favorite. I don't even know why. I think because I saw the picture and I was like, it's so true. He is a mad scarf monster.
Yeah. What happened to him?
Yeah, we can go into characters. I think that
Riblet. Jorbs.
Yeah.
Rocking those jorbs.
I like that. I thought overall as like the segment, I did think the segment was quite long, and I didn't know if that was some. I didn't not like it being long. I just like was like, oh wow, we're still on this with writing notes. But I thought it had a good rhythm, and I felt like it's kind of like, it had a lot of different diversity and different people coming in. This was
one of the Riblet one in particular was the one that another one that didn't really make much sense, but I was still entertained by it.
Sure.
It was just a crazy character that was just, I don't know if that's like Bobby's subliminal campaign to be like, put me on Weekend Update.
Right.
If this isn't working out. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. I loved his literal mic drop.
Yeah.
I liked the double mic drop and the call out of like who keeps giving him mics. I thought that was really funny.
And then Pete Davidson was pretty funny. I liked how he thought that Leo was so like golden now and everything. So he's like, maybe I'm gay.
I would just have sex with him out of respect.
Yeah.
If he asked.
It was a good bit, but I feel like he could have committed to it more. I don't know. If he wrote it, he should have memorized it more.
Or come out looking more flamboyantly gay, or like hitting it physically on the nose a little bit more, maybe.
I think that was the point, though, that he doesn't look it, but do something more than just like be reading it. I don't know. He just didn't seem as committed.
I agree. I don't know what I wanted from it. Just a little bit more of something.
Yeah, it was because it was a good story, but just missing something.
Yeah.
Just like the ex-girlfriend thing, I thought was a little. It just kept getting like bad a good went like this. The weekend update. I feel
kind
like
of one note too. It didn't really go anywhere unexpected. Like you kind of knew once the game started. You're like, oh, I know where it's gonna go, and then they didn't really do anything to pull the rug from you. Where you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, at least Riblet came back. That kind of saved it a little bit.
That's true. With his second mic drop.
Yeah, not my favorite update though. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
Did you guys rate it?
Didn't rate it. I feel like it's in C territory. I just was like, there were bits I really enjoyed and bits that I kind of...
Yeah.
I think I actually enjoyed watching it more than I am now looking back at it. I think in the moment I was like, oh, this is quite good. It's got lots of different segments and I'm enjoying each of it. So I kind of was like, oh, it's good and they're doing well. But now talking about it, I'm like, I don't actually know if I did like it that much.
Yeah, because a lot of people liked Riblet and... I mean, he was funny, but he wasn't like, oh my god, so good. But yeah, I gave it a B-.
Yeah.
I do like seeing someone make a physical adjustment from like this character to newsreader character.
That was funny.
Like,
that was
I
really
like that
good.
too.
Yeah.
I was good at that.
And then Wallace Redding, the prisoner, or the
Yes.
Texas Man Gobbler.
I liked this one.
So random, but so,
Yeah, I think
I
that,
liked it a lot.
Like wackadoo humor, I'm totally into. I don't know why that's the word I'm choosing. but-
Wackadoo humor.
Wackadoo, it's appropriate, I guess. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of that parody of Shawshank Redemption. I don't know if you.
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I hadn't either, but Katie said that, so I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah. So spoiler for Shawshank Redemption if you haven't.
So
seen
that's. I thought it was like a Green Mile but I was like,
If you haven't seen Shawshank, you really, really should. But at the end, Morgan Freeman does this beautiful sort of speech at his, those little hearings or whatever those are. And it was a parody of that. But I loved the man-eating thing. It was so funny. And that he was still sticking to his guns of doing that sort of Morgan Freeman speech.
Yeah.
And they're adamant. The way they're so no, sir, like... we're putting you in the chair. Like, I just thought it was so fun to watch.
I like the way it built too. Like, the only thing you get now is to decide your last meal. One man, 2 boys. Okay, 1 boy. I would like to eat him out.
And I also random, but I really liked SNL's makeup and wig department because Blake Shelton didn't even look like himself.
No, he looked great.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, stepping up their game, I guess. But I really liked the whole how it just kept committing to eating people.
And the pacing was really good too. I think because some of those other scenes were, just this whole show kind of felt slower, but then that scene was just real punchy for me.
Yeah.
Is that I wrote like that I enjoyed the roll-ups and the credit and the voiceover at the end of that sketch. Is that also part of them parodying?
It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't know. I mean, I know he definitely voiceovers in Shawshank. I don't know that there's any kind of text.
Okay.
Does he
but
eat
Andy
people?
was, no, he does not eat people.
Spoiler alert.
And Shawshank is also just about cannibals.
Yeah.
So I gave that one an A because I was laughing the whole time and I just was tickled by it.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I gave it a B, and it wasn't until you explained it was off something at the end I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I gave it a B. So yeah, that's good. Good stuff. And then Topeka Today, the 97-year-old songwriter.
Yes.
Again, the makeup is so good.
Yeah, the makeup was great. Photos. Photos are so wonderful.
So I like this because you kind of didn't see it coming. You just thought it was him singing a song, and you were waiting for the joke, and then when it hit, you're like, "This is kind of funny."
Yeah,
I like it.
So this is playing off because this happened, right?
Yes.
Did it?
This is a real thing.
Really?
Not
It
didn't go dark.
Yeah.
So basically, for just to context, so this older guy is like, oh, I've written this nice song, and the songwriter comes in and he goes on TV and they play the song and stuff like that. So that basically really happened. So this is
then that's
taking
awesome.
it
The
something
actual
off
song
that.
is like
Nice.
Francine or something like that. Yeah, so they pulled it from a real... I feel like there were several things in this show that were actually, from other references that you didn't need to know the references, but like it's sort of helpful
Adds
for
to
the
it.
context of it. But I thought it was fun, and I loved the progression of the pictures alongside the progression of how dark it was getting with him being like, you're a monster and I would have killed you, but you choked on some corn.
Yeah.
Your body's just okay.
Yes, it was a great line. I love that. I mean, and for me too, like I love listening to a song that sounds super happy, and then like the more you listen to the what's that song that there's a really chipper song that's basically saying
about
how
a
this
divorce.
Yeah,
basically.
this guy's girlfriend dumps him because she's in love with someone else, but it's like really, and it's
It's like that REM song, It's the End of the World as we know it.
Yeah.
Like how that's like, it's the end.
yeah, so funny. So I like that about it. My only thing would be I thought I would have liked to have seen it get darker, so maybe they could have started
That's
it
what I
getting
wrote,
dark
too.
quicker.
Yeah.
I wish it got worse.
Totally. I think, again, something they could have had more mileage with.
We're getting
YouTube. I don't know.
YouTube chat roll questions.
Yes. Since you guys are live, we have some people who are watching you right now, and they have
sure.
a question for you.
Go for it.
Fantastic.
Yes. Her name is Kay Bassey.
Hello, Hi,
She
Kay.
said, what actor/singer would you like to see host/perform that hasn't yet on Saturday Night Live?
So it has to be a singer and performer?
It doesn't matter. Either one.
I've got one.
Who's yours?
Well, this is just because I'm like all about it right now. But
Is it you?
me? Okay. No, not me. Nick Jonas. Because
my gosh.
I'm all like,
He's a dream man.
I just think he's sort of re-popped up and he's reinventing himself or whatever. But we just watched him perform and I was like, dear God, Nick Jonas, like what happened to you?
He's still a thing?
Yeah, he's still a thing.
He's
His
now a
promise
thing.
ring is gone. So, that's a thing. But he's like, I've seen some interviews with him and stuff and he's funny. And I wasn't aware of this. So I think I'm really intrigued by him right now at the moment. And I can't stop dancing and singing too. Jealous. So personal bias would be Nick Jonas.
That's a great answer. And he's a great performer too.
Yeah.
With great music.
Mine is Will Smith. He's my dream
Oh my
SNL
gosh.
guest. One day. Yeah.
Has he really not?
No, I don't think so.
Ever?
I'm pretty sure.
That's so nutty to me.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive.
How is
Do we
that
have another
possible?
question?
We do.
Oh,
we have
do
from
that.
Ghost8386.
Hey, Ghost.
Interesting.
Do you think Eddie Murphy would ever host SNL again?
No, I don't. Because he's mad at SNL. Because when David Spade, he did the Hollywood Minute in the early '90s, and he said, "Look, it's a falling star," and it was a picture of Eddie Murphy. And ever since then, he didn't want to be a part of SNL. So I don't. I would. It'd be so cool if he
It would be amazing.
you know,
if he
Embrace
did.
it.
chilled out.
And then
But I don't think he will.
I mean, on the one end, you're like, good for him, sticking to his guns.
But
On
take
the
a
other
joke.
end, it's like, yeah, be able to take the piss out of yourself.
Especially because he wasn't a falling star. Because look, he got nominated for Dreamgirls.
Yeah,
That's true,
He's
yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
All right, another question.
They're just
question.
flying in, you guys.
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys.
Joseph Boza.
Hey, Joseph.
He wanted to say that he thought this was a good show tonight.
Thanks.
Do you ladies think the writers are putting more into the 3-hour special on February 15th instead of each of the episodes that's been coming out?
Maybe I don't know. I like the writing a little bit with this one more than last week's, but
I
It
think
could be.
last week really relied heavily on Kevin,
Performance,
and
yeah.
because he brings so much that you don't even need to really write for him. I feel like the one-liners in certain areas of the show were really strong in this one. Like, I really did think the Shawshank parody was really strong, but it was also so simple. Like, it was right there. It was so meaty, but
yeah,
I
and
don't
it's
know what they're
clever
gonna do for-
because I didn't know that these were based on like,
Thanks.
Yeah, like the songwriter, and I didn't know that
Yeah.
was Shawshank. So it's
so you didn't need
Yeah.
the references.
And I think too, like, you know, these guys have known about this for a long time. I think
Oh, yeah.
they'd be pretty well prepared.
Yeah.
I think that would be
Surely
really
they're
bad
saving
on
all
their
best
half if they're
sketches for-
like,
and they have
Yeah.
other like I'm sure Adam McKay's writing
Yeah.
for like they other. I'm sure they're gonna get older writers to write their because
they
she's gonna
should.
write all Will
Adam
Ferrell's
McKay,
stuff and
so
everything.
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So fun, that man.
But I don't think that last week's was bad. I don't think this week's was
no.
bad. I think that they're just very different, and I think it comes down to personal taste too. Like I actually preferred last week's episode because I think it had more diversity and energy, and I felt this was maybe more, you know, just good consistently rather than massive highs and massive lows. So
I'm not a big fan of Kevin Hart, so I'm not going to talk about
Yeah. So
Okay, and
I think
that-
You
it's
either
really
love
hard-
him or hate him.
and I think that's what you're gonna get, especially when they're involved in so many sketches. Because there was only really two that he wasn't in this week, was it?
Blake?
Yeah.
he
But
was-
even though I feel like he wasn't that good of, he was an okay host, but the writing was better because there was no like, oh my God, Blake was so funny.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
More questions.
Another
I don't know
question.
if we answered your question, Joseph. I'm sure the February 15th episode will be amazing.
It's okay. He's just happy that he's on here. Last question is actually from him again. If they could pick someone to host the big special, who would it be? And also, Kay Bassey just wanted to say that you gals are the greatest hosts. So.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so
gosh.
much.
Katie and I totally dressed up for the occasion and planned
just for
to
this.
look
Matchy
country-like.
pants.
Nobody called me. So.
Oh, gosh.
We will
time.
next time.
Yeah.
Kelly.
We all wore red lipstick though.
Hey.
That happened.
That did happen.
We're all K's.
Who is our desired... Yeah.
That's something we're looking
not
over because of the
broaching that
number of us.
subject.
Yeah.
So who is our desired candidate for
The February 15th.
Yeah.
That's
the
really
big
hard
show?
because it would be maybe like a
When will they announce it?
I don't think they're gonna host. I think it's just gonna be a special.
Okay.
So I don't know. That's hard. It should be somebody like Jack Nicholson. Imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy awesome. But really quick, before we have one more thing to talk. The magic thing, the last sketch.
Oh, yeah,
Are we getting hurried?
I think it would be Will Ferrell for me, just to tell
That'd be
you.
pretty
He's
cool.
always up there.
I
want
just
to
want
marry
somebody
Will Ferrell.
crazy epic like Jack Nicholson, but he would never do
Some
that.
like super random actor that's like a
Meryl Streep, just being
gosh.
tearing it up.
Meryl.
Yes.
And House of Cards, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
yeah.
That man. Oh, that man. Okay.
But
Imagine.
the chicken nuggets. I want to be a black guy for a day.
Because there was this is what I'm saying. Like
That was-
every sketch had a
But that
thing.
was kind of funny.
Oh,
because
I would like to be
dudes
a
are
black man for a day.
like, yeah.
I get
You
it.
always think that.
Oh, I mean, this was so on the nose for that. Yeah, make me rich, chicken
me
nuggets.
rich.
I want to go down on myself. Like, it was all pretty.
I love that they went for it by
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember that one sketch that Will Ferrell was in when Tobey Maguire hosted, and he was like a yoga instructor, and he was trying to learn how to go down on himself, and he finally did it. Will Ferrell, and he's like, just give me 5 minutes, and he
Oh
and
my
it's like
goodness.
5 years later or 20 years later, and he's still there.
Oh my
It's like
God.
one of my favorite sketches.
have to
Why
watch
have we
that.
not
I've not seen
this? We're like, we need to see Will
love Will
Ferrell
Ferrell.
doing this to himself.
Yeah.
Who are we? We're gross people, but we're
it
going
brought
to
me,
find that.
Yeah, it brought me back to that. It wasn't as good as that one because he didn't succeed in doing it. But it was
So
really,
anticlimactic,
Yeah.
very literally.
it's a really funny and random end sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, the like, magic isn't real, told you. And then I like that they repeated the game with Kenan being like,
Starting over again.
Yeah.
Teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, it was a pretty good, better than I was expecting. Because I
Sure.
had I was
Yeah.
like Shelton, what?
yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys, and
Hey, that's okay. Do you
Thank
know? Do
you.
you know much about? Because next week it's J.K. Simmons and D'Angelo. Do you know much about what you're gonna expect for
I
next week?
really like J.K. Simmons.
He's a funny guy.
I hope he's gonna be less angry though, because I feel like he's always
That
angry.
was my note. I was
Yeah.
anticipating some kind of grumpy dad or an angry boss.
So hopefully he's. I want to see him be super nice and so like
Yeah.
or like a gay guy, a flamboyant guy.
Oh,
Okay.
God,
That'd
That'd be
I would love
really
to
funny.
see that.
D'Angelo, I don't know. I just remember that one video that he did when he was naked. Do you guys remember that one?
I just know his voice is so like.
Yeah, you
I
said
just
baby
am-
making music,
Yeah, I'm
right?
anticipating so many babies to be made on those musical.
Because he has a new album, right? That's
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was still around.
It's
He's
just
so-
making a comeback.
Yeah.
sexy baby making
Yeah.
music.
Shoot.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us.
thank
Yeah.
you.
It's nice
And-
to be
Been so
here.
nice.
Where can we find you guys on the interwebs again in case they
Sure.
forgot?
I'm Kimberly Crossman. You can find me at Kim Crossman.
And I'm Katie Wilbert, and you can find me at Katie Wilbert. So simple.
And I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me at Holly Weirdo on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to like us on YouTube and
Yes.
subscribe and all that fun stuff.
all of that.
And we'll see you next week with J.K. Simmons as the host.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.